This four-letter word can guide us through our darkest times and help us deal with the unpredictability and uncertainty that accompanies any kind of chronic illness. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. My name is Anindita, and I am a functional medicine certified health coach and a functional medicine practitioner. And I help women with autoimmune conditions reverse their symptoms using their body as their guide. So, welcome. Of course, if you have any questions, make sure that you drop in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer them. And if you like what I have to say, there are 3 spots left. I had opened up 10 spots as a free 30 minutes discovery call where you can get some questions answered and probably leave with one action item that can be your next step if you are sort of uncertain about what you can do, what you need to prioritize. And that's what you're going to get in the free 30 minutes call. There are 3 spots left. Just head over to the link in the bio and schedule a call today. So let's keep moving. There's a reason why I chose to talk about hope. I talk about gut health. I talk about intestinal permeability. I talk about how our immune system is involved in obviously in autoimmune conditions and what goes on and what's at play and what foods you need to have and how you manage your stress. But what is equally important is to understand the role of our emotions, the role that our mental and emotional health play in any chronic illness. And if you're already dealing with any kind of chronic illness, especially a severe one like autoimmune disease, then I don't need to tell you that living with any kind of chronic illness day in and day out is extremely stressful by itself. And I think what also makes it really difficult is the uncertainty and unpredictability that goes hand in hand with illness like autoimmune disease, where your symptoms are changing, things are changing, your pain levels are going up and going down. So this level of uncertainty and unpredictability where you're not able to really plan anything, you're not able to socialize the way you used to earlier, you can't really make any long-term plans. It's really hard. That itself causes a lot of stress. And that's where actually learning how to take care of your mental and emotional well-being is equally important as your diet, as important as your gut health, right? They're all intricately connected, and that's what I'm talking about today. And specifically today I have chosen to talk about this 4-letter word, which is hope, right? There are many benefits, but amongst the most important ones that I believe which are quite relevant for you if you're dealing with any chronic illness is that it enhances well-being. It helps us, it motivates us to take action, right? When things seem really bad, when we are going through a very, very dark and challenging times, it is important to keep taking action, obviously with some kind of intent. And not from a place of fear all the time. And it gives us the resiliency to continue to deal with the challenges that are coming, right? So that's what hope provides for you, and it's a very important part of our healing journey. But it doesn't it's one of the first things that can sort of go for a toss when you are dealing with any kind of health issues, right? As I mentioned, not knowing whether you will get well, not knowing when you will start seeing results, when you will actually get some answers, especially if you're dealing with any kind of autoimmune condition where you're not even sure that this is a particular disease that you have. All these can actually make us feel quite hopeless, struggle with feelings of hopelessness, feelings of frustration, feelings of anger, right? So that's what I am talking about. And these all negative emotions are important. It's not about actually not ever having any negative emotions at all. I want to talk about that first before I move on to what you can actually do, something that will actually help you to cultivate hope. But I want to first mention here that negative emotions like fear, anger, hopelessness, frustration, disappointment, they are here to tell us that we need to do something about it, or we do need to start paying attention. to our bodies, to our emotions, and to acknowledge them, to accept them, and only then we can actually take motivated action, right? So that's how it works. It's not about ignoring our negative emotions. It's not about putting them under the carpet, or there's nothing wrong with having negative emotions in the first place. That is what makes us human and whole, right? But at the same time, as negative emotions play a big role in our life, so does positive emotions like hope, and that's what I'm talking about today. And two ways that you can actually start coping with any kind of chronic illness, let alone a severe one like autoimmune condition, and cultivate hope is one, by grounding yourself and savoring the small moments of your life. Savoring your current circumstances, no matter how bad they are. And savoring can happen in different ways, but today I'm going to talk about what your current situation, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And secondly, self-compassion, giving yourself showing yourself some compassion, taking breaks, self-compassion breaks during the day is really quite effective. So the first way that I mention is grounding yourself, and I'm going to share with you one very, very simple yet highly effective exercise that has helped many of my clients get out of their head and into their and ground themselves, move from overwhelming emotions, which keeps us stuck, and move out of our head into our bodies and into the present circumstances. That's what grounding actually means. And this extremely simple exercise can be done at any point, at anywhere. It's that simple, and I'm just going to take you through it now. So take a moment to stop what you're doing. If you're doing multitasking, come back to this video, and just if you're in a place where you can and it's safe, you can close your eyes. For the latter part of this visualization, or this practice, actually it's not so much of visualization. So it's called 5 4 3 2 1, and it helps us to reduce stress. It's a stress reduction technique as well, but primarily it grounds us. So the first thing is that 5 stands for 5 things that you can see in your environment, right? So keep your eyes open for that. So look around you, notice what you can see. So if I had to look around my environment, I would see that my notebook is in front of me, my laptop is in front of me, my camera is right here, I have a bed behind me, so 5 things that you can see in front of you, right? So just paying attention and taking your time and noticing what you can see around you. That's 5. The next one is 4, and 4 is about what you are feeling, right? So for these, it helps. I mean, it's not compulsory if you can close your eyes for a few minutes. And 4 things that you can feel, whether you feel whatever emotions come up for you, and just 4 things. This is something that I sort of messed up. 4 things that you can feel with your, as a touch with your hands, right? Sorry, my bad. So 4 things that you can feel with your fingers. So whether it's for me, it would be my glass table, my keyboard, the clothes on my body, so my hair. So 4 things that you can feel with your fingers. So it's more of touch. The third thing would be hear. 3 things that you can hear. So again, if you can just pause here for a moment and just listen to the sounds that can come. So for me, it's the sound of the air conditioner. I can hear some traffic outside. So that's number 3. Number 2 is smell. So 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste, right? Maybe something that you've had before. So it's 5 4 3 2 1, which is 5 things you can see, 4 is 4 things that you can feel or touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste, right? This is a very, very effective and very quick exercise to help you ground yourself if you're, sort of stuck somewhere and you're sort of going round and round in circles emotionally. And the second way that you can actually bring yourself back to this moment and find ways to feel more hopeful and, cope better with your current circumstances is by going on a self-compassion break. Self-compassion, this is something that has been really delve deep into by Dr. Kirsten Neff, and you can check out her books of the same name. And I love what she has put together, and this is a very simple exercise from that. Whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, whenever you're feeling a bit of hopelessness, frustration, etc., lot of negativity, it takes, once you have acknowledged that those negative emotions, it really helps if you can pause. And you can do this multiple times a day, and once you pause, you can say to yourself, and you can again close your eyes, keep your eyes open, but just to going within yourself and say to yourself, this is a moment of suffering, right? This is really effective when you're in a lot of pain, etc., and just acknowledging that suffering that you're going through. So the first thing is to acknowledge and say to yourself, this is a moment of suffering. Second is that suffering is a part of life, right? It's the human element. It's something that we all have in common. Each of us are struggling with something or the other. So it helps to know that we are not alone in this. So that's the second part of it. And the third part is to, once you have acknowledged this, once you have acknowledged your pain and the suffering that you're going through right now, just to let yourself know and see if you can be kind to yourself. So may I be kind to myself, right? So these three things that I just mentioned, it's a self-compassion break. The first is to acknowledge that this is a moment of suffering, and you can make it as long as short as you want. Maybe you want to sort of understand why you're right now feeling like this, or what you're really going through. You can journal about this as well. The second is to acknowledge that this is a shared humanity. Suffering is shared humanity. It's common for all of us. So you don't feel necessarily alone, which is, suffering is a part of life, right? And third is, again, telling yourself, may I be kind to myself, right? And I actually make my clients go through a small, guided meditation kind of a thing towards the end of the coaching sessions, where we say to ourselves, these affirmations like, may I be kind to myself, may I love and accept myself just the way I am, may I be, able to take care of myself, so you can customize it to your own liking. So this is what I had to share today. And what happens is that when you do these small but highly effective exercises, practices that you incorporate in your daily life, you will find that with little by little, you have shifted your mindset, your focus from only things that are sort of going wrong in your life, that you're really struggling with, to even things that to find ways to cultivate hope. And this itself gives you hope that yes, things can change, things can improve. And it also, the other thing that happens when you actually tune into yourself like this, is that you start tuning into your body's wisdom. That's something that I talk about a lot, and that's a big part of my coaching program. I call it a body guided approach, because it's only by tuning into our body's wisdom we know that we are on the right track. We are able to actually take steps which are highly effective, because the body tells us what it needs from us, what kind of support it needs, whether we are on the right track, what kind of tweaks we want to make, so we can lessen the time frame that we need to actually get better. We can see, it's easier for us to reverse many of our symptoms, because we finally started paying attention to all the messages our bodies are giving us in the form of symptoms, right? So all of these are huge benefits that come along with it. And finally, what happens as you live your life in this manner, as you incorporate these practices in your daily life, is that you find yourself being little hopeful the next day, and maybe a little bit more, and you slowly you will see that you will sort of automatically cultivate hope even in the most darkest of your times. And hope is something that will guide you, that will motivate you to keep taking action, because without that we will obviously feel that there's nothing that we can do. We will remain a disempowered patient rather than an empowered explorer, because that's what my clients are. That's what people in my community are. They are empowered explorer. They're exploring their inner worlds, their outer worlds, using their body as their guide, tuning into their body's wisdom, and that's how they get better. And not only get better, but stay well. So get well and stay well. So I hope you liked or resonate. Some of this resonated with you. If there's anything if there's one key takeaway, make sure that you put it in the comments below. And if you would like to avail of the opportunity, there are 3 spots left for a free 30 minutes discovery call. Head on to the link in the bio and schedule your call today, and or head over to the click on the link below in the post and schedule the call. I'll see you soon.